Have you ever noticed how dogs seem to sense things that we can't perceive? Maybe your dog barked at nothing, refused to enter a room in the house, or even showed restlessness before something strange happened. But what if I told you that this could have been predicted centuries ago? Since ancient times, seers and prophets have left enigmatic messages about the true purpose of dogs. Nostradamus, Baba Vanga, and even spiritual masters from different cultures predicted that dogs are not here just as companions, but as spiritual guardians and messengers of important events. But why were these predictions ignored for so long? And what is the true meaning of having a dog in your life? If you have a dog at home, get ready for a revelation that could completely change the way you see your best friend. Dogs in history and their connections with mysticism. Since the dawn of civilization, dogs have always been more than just simple pets. In various cultures around the world, they have been seen as spiritual messengers, guardians of the soul, and even guides between the world of the living and the unknown. But what few know is that ancient prophecies already spoke about the role of dogs in events that would change the fate of humanity, ancient Egypt, and the connection with Anubis. In ancient Egypt, over 3,000 years ago, the god Anubis was depicted with the head of a black dog and considered the guardian of the afterlife. He not only guided the souls of the dead, but also protected against evil spirits, a belief that is still reflected today in modern dogs, who seem to sense invisible presences and ward off negative energies. The Roman prophecy and dogs as a warning. Sign in ancient Rome, it was believed that if a dog barked for no apparent reason at midnight, it meant that something was about to happen. Historical accounts suggest that in 64 AD, before the Great Fire of Rome, numerous dogs barked incessantly in the nights leading up to it, as if they were warning of the impending tragedy. Dogs and supernatural sensitivity. In the Middle Ages, dogs were seen as capable of detecting witches, spirits, and even omens of death. In many villages, when a dog howled for several nights in a row, the residents believed that someone from the village was close to departing for the other world. If throughout history, dogs have been associated with premonitions and spiritual protection, are we ignoring important signs they are trying to show us even today? Dogs as spiritual guardians and their hidden powers. If there is something that transcends cultures and eras, it is the belief that dogs possess a perception beyond the ordinary. From the oldest civilizations to modern spiritual traditions, there are countless reports of dogs detecting invisible presences, protecting their owners from evil forces, and even predicting disasters before they happen. But how is this possible? Dogs and spiritual sensitivity. Modern scientists have already proven that dogs have an extremely keen sense of smell and hearing. But what if this perception went beyond the physical world? Many spiritual traditions believe that dogs can detect changes in the energy of the environment and even perceive the presence of spirits and entities invisible to the human eye. Reports of dogs anticipating supernatural events. Various reports throughout history show dogs barking at nothing, refusing to enter certain places, or even trying to warn their owners about dangers they cannot see. There are records of families reporting that their dogs began to behave strangely before catastrophic events, such as earthquakes and fires, and even before the passing of a loved one. The connection with human energy dogs are also considered spiritual mirrors of their owners. Many esoteric traditions suggest that they absorb negative energies to protect those with whom they are bonded. If a dog starts to act restlessly or falls ill without explanation, some cultures believe that this may mean it is trying to purify its owner's energy or ward off invisible forces. But if dogs really have this extraordinary sensitivity, are we ignoring the signs they are trying to give us? Dogs as protectors against negative energies. Throughout history, dogs have been considered much more than mere companions. They have been seen as spiritual barriers against dark forces. In various traditions, there is a belief that these animals have the ability to detect and ward off negative energies, dark entities, and even harmful spiritual influences. But how does this work? Dogs and the ability to perceive invisible presences. Many ancient cultures believed that dogs could see beyond the veil of reality. They not only picked up on bad vibes, but were also capable of reacting to forces invisible to the human eye. There are reports of dogs growling or barking at nothing, avoiding certain areas of the house, or showing fear without an apparent reason. Are they reacting to something we simply can't see? Spiritual protection and absorption of negative energy. Shamans and spiritualists say that dogs act as energy shields, absorbing and dissipating bad vibrations before they affect their owners. In some cultures, it is believed that a dog falling ill for no apparent reason may be purifying the house of bad spiritual influences, acting as a silent guardian. Ancient rituals and beliefs about dogs as mystical guardians. In Japan, the shisa, a lion-dog figure, is placed at the entrance of houses to ward off evil spirits. In Celtic culture, it was believed that dogs protected their owners during journeys between the spiritual and earthly worlds. In shamanic tribes, dogs were used in purification rituals to detect places with bad energies. Nostradamus and the prophecies about dogs. The writings of Nostradamus, the famous 16th century French seer, are shrouded in mystery and enigmatic interpretations. Among his numerous predictions about wars, catastrophes, and global transformations, there are passages that many believe are directly linked to the role of dogs in the fate of humanity. The prophecy of the four-legged guardians. One of Nostradamus' most intriguing prophecies mentions, "When darkness covers the skies and the ground trembles, the faithful four-legged guardians will be the first to alert about the presence of the invisible." Scholars believe that this passage suggests that in times of crisis, dogs will perceive signs before humans. There are reports of dogs alerting their owners before earthquakes, fires, and even inexplicable spiritual events. Did Nostradamus foresee this supernatural connection between dogs and the unknown, the age of dogs and the end of a cycle? Another excerpt from his Centuries mentions, "The time will come when the faithful will become the guardians of the pure, and only those guided by them will find the way out in the great chaos." Some interpretations suggest that dogs will play a fundamental role in the spiritual future of humanity, being protectors and guides in times of great transformations. If these prophecies are true, are dogs already trying to alert us to something we haven't seen yet? Dogs and their relationship with human karma and life mission. Spirituality has always taught that nothing happens by chance, and this includes the bonds we form with animals. Many traditions believe that dogs do not choose their owners by chance, but rather that there is an energetic and even karmic bond between them. Dogs as karmic guides. The concept of karma suggests that everything we do returns to us at some point, whether in this life or in future incarnations. Some believe that dogs come to us as companions on our journey, helping us balance past energies and face emotional or spiritual challenges that we need to overcome. The dog that appears at the right moment. Many people report that they adopted a dog precisely when they were going through emotional difficulties, illnesses, or significant life changes. Could it be coincidence, or are these animals sent to guide their owners through moments of transition and healing? The dog's energy reflects the owner's energy. Buddhist monks and spiritualists say that dogs absorb their owner's energy and often end up reflecting their feelings. An anxious owner may have a restless dog, while a serene dog can help bring balance to a house full of tension. How to interpret your dog's signs and behaviors. If dogs really have a connection with the invisible world, are we paying attention to the signs they send us? Their behavior may be much more than mere instinct. It could be a warning about something we cannot perceive. Behavior changes and spiritual alerts. Many owners have witnessed their dogs barking or growling at something that was not visible. In some cultures, it is believed that this happens when there is a spiritual presence nearby. Some of these changes include avoiding a specific room in the house, growling at an empty corner, or hiding without explanation, barking repeatedly at nothing, especially at night. Dogs as energy detectors. In some esoteric beliefs, dogs act as energy filters. If a place or a person carries a negative or hostile vibration, the dog may exhibit unusual behaviors such as restlessness, staring intently at someone, or avoiding getting close. Dreams, intuition, and invisible presences. There are reports of dogs waking up suddenly, restless, at the exact moment a loved one passes away or when an important event occurs. In some shamanic traditions, it is believed that dogs can access the dream world and interact with spiritual forces, serving as guardians both in the physical world and on the astral plane. Throughout history, dogs have been revered as guardians of the invisible, spiritual allies, and messengers of the unknown. Their abilities go beyond human understanding, allowing them to perceive what we cannot see and feel what we ignore. Does your dog have something to teach you? Does your dog have something to teach you? Whether through an insistent gaze, a sudden change in behavior, or an inexplicable intuition, your dog might be trying to show you a path you haven't yet noticed. Maybe he is your guardian, your guide, or even a soul that has been by your side in another life. Now the choice is yours. Will you ignore these signs, or will you open your mind to this connection? Now the choice is yours. Will you ignore these signs, or will you open your mind to this connection? If your dog has ever exhibited strange behavior or seemed to protect you from something invisible, share your experience. Maybe other people also have incredible stories about their dogs that need to be told. And remember, dogs have always been by humanity's side. But was it really humanity that chose them, or did they choose us?